always like to start with just a quick overview of the dashboard. Looks like the market, the S&P 500, if you will, pretty washed out. We never did get the Santa Claus rally though, which is a bit disappointing. Probably not a good sign for the coming year. And if I understand correctly, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for this next year. No doubt about that. Better cycle, 23 should be our low. If you need a refresher, I think it's an excellent idea to go back and read the blog. But unfortunately, this is going to be a bit of a tough slog. We also know, of course, too, that our cycle analysis, and I posted this tweet out over the weekend. If anything, this is the exact part of this cycle, the trough period here, where things are the worst and they're the ugliest, and they're usually, we're going to have just tons of FUD. And ironically enough, as soon as you start hearing the public saying, well, Bitcoin's going to zero, it's all a scam, and all the negativity, ironically enough, that's actually the most beautiful contrarian signal. And actually, I don't really mind the idea of hunting for a bottom down in here. Question is, where do I have that screen? So it's over here. I'm a little concerned that actually, if we go and look at things like crypto, we've actually jumped up quite a bit, although price really hasn't done a hell of a lot. It does give our longs a little bit of wiggle room here. I did go and buy crypto, like just buy a BTC proxy, 0.1 BTC off of this cross event here. But we don't really see price moving egregiously. In fact, looks like things softened up a little bit heading into the retail session here this morning. So, sort of my overall Bitcoin kind of thinking right now is I feel like we're caught in a bit of a channel. It's an odd channel. It's like a bow tie. And you can see we're now playing right now as we speak with this downtrend line as acting as support right now. So we'll see how that goes, but if my sort of bow tie thesis is correct, we should see a bit of volatility come in here. So here's that funny little sushi. I have no idea why this is W'd out here, other than, is the heat off of Mr. CZ for the time being? I don't know. Is sushi directly related to CZ? I'm not exactly sure how all this story goes. But anyway, I did find that kind of interesting how he went W'd out there yesterday and tried a little bit of a rally here this morning. But as cryptos, the big boys are coming off, these guys are all sort of coming back down to earth a bit too. This guy here, he went and actually tried to put in a bit of a bottom. It almost looks like a head and shoulders now. A little bit of a W there on that Matic. So, I mean, the irony of it all is that we had the breadth indicator, and the breadth, of course, is just going to simply tell you sort of what the temperature of the market is. And we actually had it pointing up, but, there's not that much buying pressure here. And I can imagine that a good chunk of the sort of public is just sitting there kind of shell-shocked right now, especially, and again, how many people in the public went and bought into this Tesla idea all through last year, and they're just getting absolutely destroyed here. Like that, some of the social media kids that fancy themselves stock pickers. I know a lot of them fell absolutely in love with Tesla, and they're just getting destroyed. I'm not even so. We look at the crypto stocks. You can see it's a sea of red here. I mean, geez, Mr. Saylor, he's on the outs now, looking pretty nasty. The little coin idea, I started to pick up some stock here, but very, very small amounts of money. I'm not really in a huge hurry to do a lot of buying or anything right here. Just sitting here, just waiting. It's interesting to see, some of the names that I bought in the past have actually gone and W'd out here, but it's just sort of like, well, the bloodletting's going and it'll go until it's done. And that's a horrible way of looking at this, but everybody, you all need to learn. When we go into recession, this shit just, especially the venture cap part of the market, it's down and it stays down.